where our girls can learn how to sew, how to knit, and how to even weave, by also encouraging cotton growing, cotton production. When I was young, I used to wear, as a fuller girl, I used to wear cotton, woven cotton, but now you don't see people wearing it. You go to Burkina Faso, you find that that is their traditional cloth. So we as women must try to explore new avenues, like growing cotton, introducing weaving, and then using the cloth as a national or traditional clothing. We also want to give them ICT training, information communication technology. We are in the world of technology. We want to really showcase the Gambian through the information and communication technology. Train girls, train trainers to help our rural women to access information communication technology. Technology should not be something that we fear. It should be created very friendly so that they can also access it. And the final point is that we need to create like cooperatives. We revive our cooperative systems where if you want to devolve power, governance, decentralize opportunities, you need to have very strong institutions that will support the work of women. So we definitely want to have the creation of revival of cooperatives. And I will urge the Bureau to work very closely with to spearhead that with the Ministry of Agriculture, so that they can continue to have cooperatives, they can sell their produce through the cooperative, and they can also have consumer shops. Instead of going to buy from other people, they can create new. You have to be creative. This is the world of creation, creativity. Have your consumer buy your sugar, your rice, or whatever from your shop. So you create employment, and at the same time, you empower each other in the community. I would also like women to empower themselves. I was married young. I had 4 children. I came back with 4 children and I went back to school. Through self-study, I was able, even though I wanted to be a medical doctor, because I had 4 children, I had to knows my story. I went back to school and did international relations and development, and today I'm here. I'm here by merit, and I would encourage all women, whether in the offices, whether in the indigenous, to really give time for self-study so that they can empower themselves. Reading is very important. We need to read, we need to develop ourselves. I always talk about, even the girls who are working with me, if you are an orderly today, tomorrow I want you to be a secretary. If you are a secretary, I want you to be an assistant secretary. By the time I leave here, by God's grace, the 3rd year, I definitely want to transform the lives of the people I work with, and so do I want to transform the lives of our rural women. We must never forget the rural women. Our focus as a government would be really, how do we provide our women, how do we empower them through advocacy. We know that also that the FGM issue has been sanctioned. We have got legislation against that, but we must not say that it is eradicated. We need to still work with communities. We need to advocate. We need to educate them on the health hazards, the health implications, the psychological implications that affect the women and children. Education is the key to the world. So we also have to be patient. As so-called educated women, we must not lie on our laurels. Each woman, by the end of the year, should be able to help 5 women. That's the challenge I'm giving every woman in the country. That every woman helps other 5 women. You empower them either by talking to them one-to-one, or by educating them, or by sensitizing them, or by sharing the little resources you have for them to take care of themselves. I'm also encouraging every man in this nation to support 7 women. The reason why I say 5 for women, 7 men, the resources are with the men.
I don't know.
And the burden is with the women. So the men, I'm challenging that they try from the home, helping their daughters, encouraging their daughters to have more education, and to also be participant and responsible citizens of this country. Finally, I'm urging every man and woman in this country to talk peace, to act peace, and to live peace. I'm also urging every nation, all women and men and boys and girls in this country to be each other's keeper, to work in unity so that we can build a better Gambia, not only for ourselves, but for everybody. And I'm also urging every man, every boy, to be compassionate towards women, because we are seeing in our society gender-based violence is crawling in our society. And it is a taboo for women to talk about gender-based violence. Everybody shies away from talking about it. But the Bureau has done a fundamental job in that area. They have started really engaging women, and now women can speak about gender-based violence. So let us continue the struggle to combat violence against women, violence against children and girls. Because that way the society becomes more stable and really free. I would urge that the security forces apparatus also have set up units or strengthen the units that are within their institutions to help address gender-based violence, educating the apparatus themselves and helping them, providing with the tools and resources that are necessary to talk about, to address gender-based violence. That is very important, and I do hope that, I pray to God Almighty that He helps us to achieve together as a nation. My inspiration, your inspiration, the inspiration of the rest of the nation, to have better women, better girls, and of course, overall better nation.
Thank you very much, Ma, for your time.
My name is Edna Musu, from the TV, GRTS. Ma, during your response to the various questions posed here, you said your dream is to see more women in the political arena. How do you hope to achieve this?
I hope to achieve this through my personal strategy, which is advocating, talking one-to-one with women, advocating at the national level through consultative meetings, technical meetings, and also supporting the work of the Bureau. The Bureau has been really active in that area. So I will support them. I will, together with the Bureau, find resources that are needed for us to really reach out to the indigenous women from the length and breadth of this country, so that we have women, encourage women to be independent political aspirants. We have seen Dr. Aissatou Touré has been bold enough to be in the forefront of the challenge, and we want to have more Aissatou Tourés, more other women who are also in the past. Like we have Dr. Florence Mahoney. She was not a politician, she was an educationist. But they are in the forefront of the advancement of women. And sometimes we forget about these women, but they are pillars. And while I'm thinking about them, I would urge that the Bureau works out some sort of incentive or reward or an award for women who have really built the foundation of their country. Dr. Florence Mahoney, we have Mrs. Ralphina Dalmida, Bertha Moj, so many other women. Dr. Palmer, late Dr. Palmer, even those who have they have left us, we can honor them. Yes, so Honorable Yumansaka Sanabojan, many of them, all the women who have really contributed to nation building in terms of making, encouraging, inspiring women we need to find a national award for them. If they are not alive, their children are alive. And I'm sure that they would be, if they are not alive, they'll be happy in their graves. If they are still alive, they would be really happy, and their families would be happy. We want to do that. And of course, finally, I will use my personal resources also to see how much best I can support women who want to really contest elections and cannot afford it, or women who need resources to educate their children, or women who need resources to pursue their own career development. Personally, I want to do that, and focusing on political education. We also want to look at civic education. My passion is also to really build the capacity of women through adult functional literacy, numeracy and literacy. That also would help them. We need to look at how to strengthen the National Civic Education Council as women, so that whatever programs they have, the programs should include our agenda. So we have to be patient, but also we have to strategic. In as much as being patient, we have to be strategic in the way we create space for ourselves, so that we are seen as partners and not adversaries. And when we talk about gender equality, the men sometimes would say, oh, we are now equal. So 50-50. You give $50, I give $50. That is not gender equality. What we are just saying, provide equal opportunities to men and women to achieve their potential. Because if the women achieve their potential, eventually where does it go? It comes to the family. It goes to the community, and then generally it goes to the society. So this is my dream, and I hope that I can assure you that even the women who are in the media and every sector of life in this country, what they need is just to make sure that they introduce the agenda into the agenda of their institutions. And where they find it difficult to do it, I'm here. My office is open, the Women's Bureau is open. We can sit and consult with our partners, the men, and make it in the mainstream of things that we are going to address as a nation.
Lastly, Ma, what advice do you have for the women as we celebrate International Women's Day?
Yes, as we celebrate, we have to remind ourselves of the theme. Last year, it was a pledge for gender parity. That is, men and women must pledge that by the year end, you have helped one woman or one girl to move from down upward. This year, it is bold for change. You have to be bold for the change. And being bold for the change doesn't mean business as usual. It means commitment. It means sincerity, so that you can help women, vulnerable women, to help themselves. It is not, for me, it is not right for you to help give a fish to a woman every day. Teach her how to fish so that she can fish, use some of the fish for her family, sell some of the fish, and then export some of the fish. So my advice is, as a government, we are willing to provide the enabling environment. As I said, and I would like to summarize with that, is to support you by providing the enabling environment. We already have the gender policy, you have the Gender Act. How do we move away from keeping those documents dusty? We need to operationalize them, so that every goal, every strategy that we have that contained in those documents are reflected in the lives and livelihoods of children. So all that the Women's Bureau and every other person in the nation supports the cause of women and be bold for change. It takes bold person to really say that today I commit myself to help a woman, to help a girl, to change her life so that she can change her family's life, change the community, change society, and change the nation. And my last word is to pray to God subhanahu wa ta'ala and God Almighty for us to give to work with each other, to support each other, to be each other's brothers keepers, sisters keepers, so that we help each other for unity and unity of purpose, common purpose. Gambia belongs to us. Nobody is going to come and build Gambia other than us. And in building the Gambia, the main block is women, and we must recognize the fact and be bold to help women help themselves and to help the nation. I thank you all being women, and I encourage you that nothing is ever too late. Just as I give you a small story, it's not to bluff, but to just inspire you that education is from the cradle to the grave. You can always be a better person, and you can always have your self-esteem. You can always be a strong woman. Nothing comes in a day. You just have to crawl and walk and then run. So I pray that God continues to guide our actions, and that God continues to help us to be inspired by our national anthem, that we work for the common good, and that we work for diversity. The nation is not Fula or Wolof or Maninka or Diola or Manjako. It is a multiple of races and tribes, and that is the beauty of our nation. It is a small size, it is a smiling coast, and we must protect that heritage. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ma, for granting us this interview.
Thank you too.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, who is our mother and our sister. We have learned a lot from you. The interview was really, you shared with us a wealth of experience. It was informative, inspiring, educative, and we have all learned a lot from you. And you are indeed a role model. And I'm sure these young people who will be, watching this interview will learn a lot, and then they will try to emulate you, Ma. And on that note, we wish you a very happy International Women's Day in advance. Thank you for the interview.